There's a person in the music industry who has a passion for the music industry itself, has a creative vision and drive to work harder than anybody else, and they really want to bring their artists or their clients' creation to life. We call that person a producer, and today we'll talk about one of the greatest producers of all time and a personal favorite, Brian Eno. Brian Eno is a very influential person of his time and is a pioneer in the electronic and ambient music world. He actually got his interest and love of music while at Winchester School of Art, where he attended a lecture held by Pete Townshend, the lead guitarist of The who gave a lecture on how non-musicians could use tape machines in a really creative way. So throughout his time at school, Eno practiced and played with this whole idea, and after that, his career took flight.
In every dream home a heartache, and every step I take.
After Brian Eno graduated Winchester School of Art, he actually went on to join the group Roxy Music in 1971 as their synthesizer player. He did this up until 1973 when, unfortunately, he had a falling out with Brian Ferry, who was the lead singer. It was actually an okay thing for Brian, though, because he went on to do his own solo career, but he was highly demanded as a producer as well. And the first credit as a producer that he got, the first record that he was on, was Lucky Life and the Long Ships by Robert Calvert. After Brian Eno worked with Robert Calvert, he went on to work with the Talking Heads on their album More Songs About Buildings and Food, as well as with Devo on their album Question, Are We Not Men? Answer, We Are Devo. During the time that he was working with these two artists, Eno really captured his signature style, which was to use everything that you could find in a studio as a compositional tool rather than its normal function. When he did this, this was how we came up with the different ways of modifying sounds and creating these new complex ambiences and modifications that we would then put over other recordings. As Brian Eno's career grew, he worked more and more with famous artists such as U2 on their albums The Unforgettable Fire, Wide Awake in America, The Joshua Tree, Achtung Baby, Zooropa, All That You Can't Leave Behind, and No Line on the Horizon. He then also worked with David Bowie on his album Outside, as well as with Sinead O'Connor on her album Faith and Courage, and last but not least, with Coldplay on Viva La Vida and Death to All His Friends, Prospects March, and my personal favorite, Milo Xyloto. Eno has received 5 Grammy Awards in his lifetime, including in 1992 for Producer of the Year, and a 1994 Brit Award for Best British Producer. He then went on in 2012 to receive the BAFTA TV Award for Best Original Television Music. I chose Brian Eno for this project because of his innovative and creative way that he approached producing. In an industry where we have formulas, like how to make a great pop song or how to make a great rock song, he took those formulas and completely turned them on their head by using the innovative styles and creations of modified sounds in his productions. And I think when you can do something you really love to do and be honest to yourself and capitalize on it, that's inspiring. As you can see, Brian Eno is a commercially successful producer as well as a highly innovative one, especially in our time. Without Brian Eno's experimentation in the late 60s, early 70s, a lot of what certain elements that are used in pop music today might not exist, and the music we have today might not even be the same. And I think that with that in mind, he can be an inspiration to anyone in the music industry. He's definitely an inspiration to a student of the music industry like myself. Thanks for listening.
When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, so she ran away in her sleep.